Yeah, I'll revise once again. Don't worry, okay? I'll explain each and every rule once again. We will have a quick revision of whatever rules I've given in the last class, because only then we can proceed to name the compound. Yes? Okay. We'll continue from here. So listen properly, because naming of the compound is important. If you don't know the name, then there is no point in learning about the complexes. Okay, so it's important. So if you remember, when I told you we are going to start with the nomenclature, we will be coming across three kinds of compound. Okay, you will come across three different kind of complexes. Yeah, so you will find that the complex whole entity, either it will carry a positive charge, which can be called as cationic complex, or you will find that the complex entity carries a negative charge, which are called as anionic complex. And one more category is where the whole coordination entity can carry a zero charge. Okay, so if they are carrying a zero charge, means if there is no charge on them, then they are called as neutral complex. Okay, example also I have given here. You can see this complex is your whole coordination entity carries a positive charge. Okay, so if they carry a positive charge, you will find something negative ion present outside attached to that. Okay, because these are positively charged and always opposite attracts. So if they are positively charged, negative ions will come and get attracted towards this. Okay, and we have anionic complex where your coordination entity, you can see this example FeCN64 minus. So here the coordination sphere is having a minus charge. Then you will find a positive ion getting attracted towards it. Okay, and always you will find that positive ion written first. Okay, because I told you according to IUPAC we are going. So always you will find that positive ion is written here. Okay, this side you will find them if it's a negative coordination entity. And then the last one is neutral, so you don't find anything outside. Okay, like this you can see here NiCO4, and enclosed in the bracket you don't find any ions present outside. That means they don't require, because they are neutral. Okay, so that's the different categories of complexes you will come across, and you have to name accordingly. Now then I gave you the rules. After that, general rules I gave you for all the compounds which you will be seeing. Okay, so now in case if it's a cationic complex where you are having the cationic entity first followed by the negative ion, always when you are naming the salts, okay, complex salt, like normal inorganic salt where we name the cation first followed by the anion, similarly here also you have to identify which is the cation part. Okay, so after you identify the cation part, that should be named here first. Okay, so now in case if it's a cationic complex, you will name that complex part first. You will go to that complex part first. If it's an anionic complex where you find the coordination sphere is negatively charged, you find the positive ion outside, so you will name that positive ion first, then you will go into this coordination sphere. Okay, yeah, after that, if that is over, then when you go into the coordination sphere, inside that you find there are metal present, and then metal is usually written towards the left side. Okay, and then you will find many ligands. Okay, now here I have just written L, means a ligands will be present. It can be same kind of ligand or it can be different kinds of ligand present. So always you will name the ligand first. Okay, your first priority should be naming the ligand according to the IUPAC. Okay, you will be naming the ligand first. After naming the ligand, then you will go to the metal. Okay, so now in that also ligands can be of different category, or if they are of same category. So two possibilities we can have no here. So now imagine if the ligands are of same category, same kind of ligands are there. Like here I have taken example, no, NH3 6 times, where we can see that 6 kind of ammonia, like same kind of ammonias are attached to the metal. Okay, and there are 6, they are 6 in number. So if that is the case, then you have to make use of a prefix. Okay, for 6 it will be hexa, but then for the other number, like if it is 2, it's di, 3 means tri, 4 means tetra, 5 means penta, 6 means hexa. Okay, and then 7 means hepta, like that it goes on. So that will be the prefix which should be used if you are having more than one kind of a ligand, same kind of a ligand attached to the metal. Yeah, so that is for same kind of ligand. Now in case if you are having a different ligand which is attached to the metal atom, then you can see here, like in case I have given example. Okay, this is our metal. To this metal you can see NH3, I took example, and then Cl and then Br. Okay, NH3 name is amine, Cl is chlorido, and Br is bromido. So if you are having different ligands attached to the metal, then your naming should be according to alphabetical order. Okay, so alphabetically A comes first, so amine should be written first. Okay, so you'll write amine, followed by B comes after that, no, AB. So bromido should be written and then chlorido, followed by the name of the metal. Okay, so that is the third one. Clear? If you are having different kinds of ligand, then it should be named according to the alphabetical order. Here anywhere if you get doubt, students, you can ask me, okay? And then going for the fourth one, if it's a didentate, means didentate, tridentate, or a polydentate ligand, then you will see that in their name, these prefix are already used. Okay, now you can see here ethylene diamine. Okay, already a di word is used, or ethane, we can also write, no, like this, ethane 1,2 diamine. So already a di word is used here. So if already a name has a prefix, then you can't again use a same prefix. Okay, then we make use of another term. Okay, a new term is used. You can see here, if it is 2, okay, if you are having a didentate ligand, which is okay, 2 in number, or if they are 3 in number, then a new term you should use. If it is 2, then you will make use of bis. Okay. If it is 3, then it should be tris. 4 means tetrakis. 5 means pentakis. 6 will be hexakis. 7 will be heptakis. Like that. Okay. It is repeated. Clear? That's for didentate or polydentate ligand, if they are present. Only if they have this prefix present in them. Otherwise, normally you can use tri, okay, tetra. That can be used. So that was the fourth one. Okay, then next one we are having, when you are naming the coordination compound, okay, what should be your starting letter? Your starting letter should be the small letter. Okay, we are not using any capital letter here. You will start with small letter and you will write that whole coordination entity as one single word. Okay, that full sphere, coordination sphere, okay, which is there, that whole name should be written as one single word without any gap. Okay, clear about the rules? Anything you have to ask here? In the rules, do you have any confusion? And when I'm doing the compound, you will understand, okay? That will give you more clarity when I'm working out the example. And now you need to know the name of the ligands, okay, which is important. So here you can see the list of the ligands which we listed last class. If it is Cl minus, it is chlorido. If it is F minus, it is bromido. Okay, we are ending the name with O. You are supposed to remove that E of the halides and replace it by O. Okay, and even you will come across, I said, the old nomenclature also where IDE was replaced by halides, IDE was replaced by O. So you will come across chloro. You will see there is fluoro word used. Okay, bromo. This is also correct. If you come across, okay, these names, this is also accepted. Iodo. Okay, where ending name is O itself. So these are the name like CN minus cyanido or cyano. Okay, SCN minus thiocyaneto. Then NCS isothiocyaneto. Then oxalato ion are there. Then you can see here CO32 minus carbonato. SO42 minus sulfato. Charge also you should keep in mind, students. Okay, because it's required later when I'm doing the naming, you will understand where it is required. Okay, and then after that we are having neutral. Neutral compounds have little different name. You can see here, no, NH3. NH3 is called as amine with double M. Okay, see the letters, words also. Write it correctly. A-double-M-I-N-E, amine. If it's a water H2O, then it's called as aqua. If it is CO, capital C and capital O, it's carbonyl. Okay, and then we have this are the organic ligand. Okay, NH2, CH2, CH2, NH2. That is ethane 1,2 diamine. Okay, if it is CH3 NH2, then methylamine. This, and then we are having even ambidentate ligand like NO2 minus. If nitrogen is linking to the metal, if you find this is attached directly to the metal, you will write as nitrito O. N, sorry, nitrogen is linked, so nitrito N. If you find oxygen is attached here to the metal, you will write nitrito O. Okay, anything which I've missed out, maybe, yeah, OH minus. If you come across OH minus, this can be called as hydroxo or hydroxido. Okay, even hydroxido is correct. Hydroxo or hydroxido. And then NO is called as nitrosyl. Okay, these two you can just write. Now here this NO is, it is coming under neutral category, okay. and OH minus is carrying -1 charge. No, it is just NO. Okay. Nitric oxide. NO. It's a neutral, not NO. NO2 minus is here. Yeah, now we'll continue. I will directly go for nomenclature. Yeah, nitrosyl. Okay, nitrosyl. NO is nitrosyl. Okay, let me start with the first one. Okay, that is cationic. Cationic complex. So I will give you the order. Okay, the order in which you are supposed to name. See, now when you have cationic complex, what did I tell you? That you will find that the complex over here carries a positive charge. Okay, the coordination sphere where you have the metal and the ligands and all present inside this, okay, that thing will carry a positive charge. So if these carry a positive charge, you find one negative ion present outside. Okay, one negative ion will be present outside, okay, to just balance the charge of this coordination sphere. Okay, so if they are positively charged, one negative ion you will find outside which will nullify the charge, and then on the whole that coordination compound which you are getting will be having a zero charge. No, finally, if they get attached to that, like normally salts, how you are having metal will be positively charged and negative ion comes and then neutralizes the charge. So on the whole the salt is neutral. No, they don't carry any charge, like that only even this. Okay, so now you have to name this. So what is the order? I'm giving you that order, how you are supposed to name. So first thing what you have to do is, if it is a cationic complex, you have to locate the cation. No? So you can see this whole thing is the cation part for us. Always cation should be named first. So this whole thing you have to name first. Then you will go for that negative ion. Okay. So now inside this, the coordination sphere which carries positive charge, you find metal and then you find ligand. And I told you, when you go inside, you will always name the ligand first, then you will go to the metal. Okay. So if there are many ligands, what will you do? You will write the name of the ligand according to the alphabetical order. Okay. So I am giving you that. So first you will write name of the ligand. Name of the ligand should be written first, and that should be in alphabetical order. It should be in alphabetical order. Okay. After this is over, okay, after you have named the ligand, okay, everything is done, alphabetical order, then you will go to the metal part. Okay, your next job is to go to the metal. So you will write the name of that transition metal. Okay. So name of the transition metal. So normally name, like now if you are finding there is Cr, that's chromium. So you'll write chromium. You find Co there. Okay, Co is cobalt. So you'll write cobalt name. Okay, it's a normal name. Transition metal name should be written. Okay, so that has to be written afterwards. Second thing is that. Now after doing all that, your next thing is to find the oxidation state. Okay, oxidation state. So you will write oxidation state of that particular metal. Oxidation state. Now how that oxidation state should be written? It should be written in Roman number. Okay, it should be written in Roman number immediately after the name of the transition metal. Okay, so then you will be completing this whole part. Your this part will get over. The coordination entity part will get over. Then you will be left with that outside negative ion. Okay, so then you have to come to that negative ion part. So here imagine if you are having Cl present, then Cl is a negative ion there. So the Cl name is chloride. No, so you should write that chloride name at the end. Okay, after that, suppose imagine if you are having Br. Okay, instead of Cl, if you are having Br, then it should be named as bromide. Okay, that negative ion name should be written afterwards. Okay, so that name of the simple anion should be written here. Name of the simple ion. Okay, should be written as it is. Okay, Cl means chloride, Br means bromide, I means iodide, SO4 2 minus if you find, okay, SO4 you will find them SO4, so then it is sulfate. Okay, so normally that name has to be written. So this is the order and I want you to copy down this order. Okay, put them in the bracket and this should be written without any gap. Okay, everything should be written. Put this inside the box and remember correctly what you are supposed to do. Cationic complex, always the cation entity should be named first. So inside that cation entity, you will find the ligand. Okay, you will go to the ligand first and see if there are many ligand. You go and arrange them according to their alphabetical order. Then you will come to the metal part. Metal name should be written. Calculate the oxidation state. You have done how to calculate the oxidation state also, you know. But still I will show you in one example. I will show you how to calculate. Then at the end you will go to the simple ion which is present outside. When I take the example, no, then you will understand. And it's easy, okay, it's not difficult. The thing is only few rules you have to keep in mind. Then you will enjoy naming actually. You see, okay. We will start with the example. Directly I'll take one example. Yeah, so this is the first example I've written here. You can see CO, cobalt, this is cobalt, then NH3 is 5 times, then you are having CO3, okay, CO3 is written in bracket, then outside you can see Cl, okay. Now here, see, since I'm discussing now cationic complex, it is obvious that I will take cationic example itself. But when everything is done, okay, when everything is given to you together, how will you identify which is cationic and which is anionic? So then you will be able to identify just by seeing the counter ion, okay, the outside ion. Suppose if you find a negative ion present outside, that means this whole coordination sphere is carrying a positive charge. If you find one positive ion present outside, that means the coordination sphere carries a negative charge. You don't find anything outside, that means it's a neutral one. Okay, that's how we identify when everything is given together. Now, since I'm discussing in particular, you will know that I will be giving only the cationic complex. Okay, so you should be able to identify in that way. So now first job is what? To go to the cationic part. No? So this is the cationic part. No? This whole coordination sphere will be carrying a positive charge. So listen properly. Okay, whatever I'm doing now here. When you understand first example, then automatically you'll be able to do the next also. So now once you go to this coordination sphere, what you have to name first? You should name the ligand first. Correct, no? Now there are two kinds of ligand. You can see here NH3 5 times it is. Okay, NH3 is what ligand? Amine, no? I'll write here. It is amine. And the second one, CO3. CO3 is a carbonate. But when you are writing the name, you know it should be carbonato. Okay, it should be carbonato. So these are the two ligands which are present. Now which comes first according to alphabetical order? Everyone knows A should be coming first, followed by the C. Okay. Now how many amines are present? There are 5. Okay, correct. Now there are 5 amines. And what is the name for 5? Yeah, 5 is penta. Starting letter, small letter. So I will write now first penta. Okay, 5 are there. No, see, we chose the ligand first. According to the alphabetical order, amine comes first. So I am writing the amine. But how many amines are there? That you have to write. Okay, so you will choose based on the ligand name. Don't count P over here and then that also you write in the alphabetical order. No, not that. We don't count the prefix here for alphabetical order. We count only the name of the ligand. Okay, because some will have this confusion. Are we supposed to take prefix into consideration? No, you will just take consideration of the ligand's name. Okay, so here penta. After that penta, 5 I am having, NH3 is 5. So penta amine. Then coming to this ligand, okay, that is this one, CO3. That is carbonato. Okay, so we are done with the ligand. After that, I told you, you will go for the transition metal. What is the transition metal here? CO. CO is cobalt. Okay, CO is cobalt here. So you will just write cobalt name. Okay, done. So we are finished with this inside the bracket, whatever is present. Next thing is to find the oxidation state. Okay, now how do you find the oxidation state of this metal? Cobalt we don't know, so I will take that as X. Okay, you can just write as cobalt also. Carbonyl is capital C. See, carbonyl is capital C and capital O. Here what I've given? Capital C and small o, no? Metal is usually written like this. So if you see capital C and small o, that's cobalt. You find capital C, capital O, that is carbonyl ligand. This is a ligand, okay? So don't get confused between this and that. I've mentioned also when I gave you the name, I told you be careful with this, okay? So now here and always towards your left side, it will be always a metal which will be given. Because it's coordination compound where metal is attached to the ligand, no? So extreme left, you will always find the metal. Okay, so it's cobalt metal. And now find the oxidation state. Cobalt we don't know, X plus. What is the charge of amine here? NH3. When you are going for the next, you should write plus, no? Plus. What is the charge of amine? Everyone, tell me, what is the charge of amine? NH3. 0. Yeah, very good. 0. 0. It's a neutral ligand. No charge. It's a molecule, correct? And how many are there? 5 are there. So 5 into 0 I will write. 5 into 0 plus. Let me go for the next one. Carbonate. Carbonate charge. CO3. What is the charge? CO3. And only one carbonate is there. Yeah, 2 minus. Correct. 2 minus. Yeah, very good. 2 minus. And then after that, next what I am having? Chloride after that. So then it will be plus into minus 1. No? And this whole thing, this whole coordination compound by nature is neutral. Okay, it's a neutral salt now. Coordination sphere is positively charged, but that positive charge got nullified by the negative chloride ion. So whole coordination compound is having 0 charge. So equal to 0. You should write equal to 0. I am not having place here. So, but you are able to understand, no? Equal to 0. Okay. Now find out X is equal to how much that means. This whole thing will become 0. And this minus 2 minus 1 minus 3 will go that side plus 3. That means cobalt when they combined with the ligands, it was in plus 3 oxidation state. Okay, so here in the Roman number you will write 3. Okay, so oxidation state of cobalt is 3. Then come to the counter ion. This anion which is present outside. Okay, the negative ion. And this is Cl. Cl is chloride. So you will just write chloride name. Okay. Did you understand how to name? It should be written as one single word without any gap. Okay. Yeah. Copy down this first one. Then I will be doing few more example. Then you will understand better. Okay. Yeah. Remember this, okay? Remember the order in which you are supposed to name the cationic complex. I'll go for the second example. Okay, this one. You can take down along with me. CO. Again, it's cobalt only. Okay. NH3, 6. And then Cl3. Okay, we need to name this now. Yeah, again start with the ligand. Okay, first name of the ligand, alphabetical order. But now here you can see only one kind of ligand is present. So if you are having one kind of ligand, you need to use a prefix. Okay, and here NH3, that's amine. How many are there? 6 are there. And 6 is called as a hexano. So that means I should write here this as hexa and then amine. Okay, 6 are there. So hexaamine. After that, next. Yeah, correct. Next is cobalt, no? After that, immediately next is metal because only one ligand, so it's easy. Going for the metal, it's cobalt. So cobalt, okay? Now you need to find the oxidation state of this cobalt. Okay, next is writing the oxidation state of the metal. So find out cobalt is X. This calculation I am doing for your sake, okay? In case if you are easily able to write it down, you don't have to do this calculation. Directly you can write the oxidation state, okay? Yeah, very good. Correct. Many have answered also. Yeah, good. X plus now here neutral ligand, amine is a neutral ligand, so 6 into 0, okay, plus I am having 3 chloride attached, so that means 3 into minus 1. Whole charge should be 0 because it's a salt, a neutral salt. So then this will become 0, so X is equal to plus 3. So that means cobalt is in plus 3 oxidation state. So I can write here 3, okay. And then after that, next one, we have which ion here? Cl. So your name should be chloride, okay, the name of the ion. Now here you can get one confusion saying that, ma'am, there are 3 chloride ion. Why did you write only chloride? See, that's because suppose if I am having now here this particular salt Al2SO4 3. Okay, now how this salt has been formed? Because aluminium charge is Al 3 plus and sulfate is SO4 2 minus. So when you cross the valency, you get Al2SO4 thrice, correct? No? So do we call this as a dialuminium trisulfate? No, right? You call this as aluminium sulfate. So now here, so that's the reason. Why? Because the valency of the aluminium is satisfied by the sulfate ion. So even here, the charge of this coordination sphere, okay, which is plus 3, is satisfied by this 3 chloride ion. So we will not write anything about that 3, okay. So we are just writing the name of the ion. It is understood that because of the coordination sphere which had 3 plus charge, this 3 chloride ion got attached there, okay. Understood now why this 3 is not mentioned. So you don't worry about any number which is present outside. You are just going to focus on writing the name of the ion which is present outside. Okay. So if you find the ion is chloride, Cl, you should write as chloride. You find Br, you should write as bromide. Don't worry about the number. Okay. Should I repeat this once again? Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'll repeat. See, what I just said is when you are writing the before one was easy. In this case, we had only one Cl present. Okay. That's because the whole coordination sphere charge was plus 1 here. So, no, one chloride has come because the charge was plus here. How it was plus? Because cobalt is 3 plus, carbonate is 2 minus. So, 3 plus and 2 minus will give you 1 plus. So, the whole sphere got a positive charge due to which one chloride ion was present. Okay. Now, in this case, you can see here, because the whole coordination sphere carries 3 plus charge, so 3 chloride ion has got attached here. Now, when you come across any number which is present outside, like this 3, 2, some number which are present, you will not mention anything about this number. You will just write the name of the counter ion which is present. Okay, like I gave you example here, this aluminium sulfate case. Okay, we just write Al2SO4 as aluminium sulfate. We don't mention this as dialuminium and trisulfate. Okay, because it is understood for us that whatever charge of aluminium is there, it is satisfied by the sulfate charge. So you don't mention anything about these number. Okay, that's what I said just now. So if you find any number outside, okay, this sphere or next to the counter ion, you don't have to mention about this. You don't have to write trichloride here. You will just write as chloride. That's it. Followed? No, usually it is metal, no? See, metal will always carry a positive charge. So always the Roman number, oxidation state is always written for the metal. So they will never have minus charge, okay? The sphere, coordination sphere can have a minus charge, but metal will not carry minus charge. Yeah? Okay, any other confusion, students? I believe it's clear. We'll go for next example. I'm taking many examples so that you are thorough. Now you should be able to tell me the name. Yeah, note down this third one. You can try. You all try, then later I will give you the name. Did you finish? Naming is over. Just give a thumbs up, students. At least that you can do, no? So that I get to know that you have finished. Yeah, few have answered also. Many are answering. Yes. Good. Correct. And the answer is correct. Yes. Check now. What is the name? This is the name. I will give the name. Okay, no problem. See, here you are having two ligands now, NH3 and Cl. Okay, NH3 is amine. And you are having chlorido. So you know A comes first and then followed by C. How many are there? 5 are there. So that means it should be penta. Yeah, correct. So penta, then amine, then followed by chlorido, then coming to the metal, that is cobalt. So you will write cobalt, followed by the oxidation state. Yeah, see the oxidation state. What is the oxidation state, everyone? Very good, correct. And how are you finding out? Cobalt. See, you can directly see and find out. You don't have to do the calculation also. You can see here ammonia is 0, no? So this will be 0, correct. I have chloride, which is -1 here. And then again outside I have 2 chloride, that is -1 into 2. So -2. That whole thing will go that side. Okay, this whole thing will go to the other side, no? Because it is equal to 0. So then it will be +3. Understood? Without like doing this x is equal to all that, you can directly find out the oxidation state just by seeing the complex. Okay, even here, see the second one which I have written here. Even here, how will you find out? Ammonia, anyways, it's 0. Outside, you find there is 3 chloride ion. Chloride 1 charge is -1. -1 into 3. -3 will go to the other side, +3. Because metal will always have a positive oxidation state. So like that we find out. Okay. Now after that, next one. Outside you see there is a counter ion. Counter ion is Cl, that is chloride. Okay, so you will write chloride. And you don't have to mention anything about this number. I told you just before this. The second example I told you, nothing to be mentioned about this number. Because it is because of the charge. Yeah? Now are you able to understand? 3 example I've done. I believe it's understood how to name the compound. Yeah, we'll go for the next. Take down this one. COEN 3. Then Cl3. Okay, the fourth one is COEN3 Cl3. Now how to name this? En is what? What kind of a ligand it is? En is a didentate ligand, no? En name is ethane 1,2 diamine. Not able to hear. I'll repeat. Okay, I'll repeat once again. Can you all see the screen? Okay, screen is visible. Yeah. Yeah, I'll repeat this. Fourth one, what I was telling is En is 3 times, no? And En is ethane 1,2 diamine. So if you remember the rule, the fourth rule which I told you, if already there is di present, what is the another prefix you are supposed to use? Now here there are 3, no? Yeah. You should use bis, tris. Yeah, that one. Correct, no? So now here I can't use the prefix like tri because already there is a prefix di used in the name of the didentate ligand. Okay, so since it is 3, for 3 we make use of tris. So you will be using this. Yeah, very good, correct. So tris should be used. Now it's 3, okay. For 3 it is tris. For 2 it is bis. Okay, so I should make use of tris here. So tris, and then after writing this, you will write the name of that ligand in the bracket, okay. Organic ligand name you will be writing in the bracket. So now here you can write the name, that is ethane 1,2 diamine. Okay. So this you should write inside the bracket. Remember, okay, organic, because only 2 or 3 you are having, so you can just put them in the bracket. This one is there and methylamine you are having, so that you can just put them in the bracket. So tris is over, then ethane 1,2 diamine. Now go for calculating the oxidation state of the cobalt. Ethane 1,2 diamine is a neutral ligand, correct, no? So that means this whole thing will not contribute any charge. So it will be 0. Who is giving us the charge? This one, no? Here, chloride. 3 chloride is there. So 3 into -1, that is -3, is equal to 0. This -3 will go that side. So plus 3. Okay. So I'm not doing any calculation. Directly seeing the compound, you are identifying. So 3. Okay. So you write the cobalt. That is a metal name, cobalt. And then 3. Understood? Everyone? No confusion, no? If you have anything, you let me know. Then outside ion is Cl, that is chloride. Okay, done. Over. This is the name. So it's easy actually, and it's fun also to give the name. If you understand the rules and you know the charge, you know the name of the ligand, then it's easy actually. How it is 3? 3 because see here, it's a neutral ligand, no? Ethane 1,2 diamine, it's a neutral ligand. See, cobalt is X plus 3, this 3, okay, this outside 3, this 3 into 0 because it's neutral, plus we have 3 chloride here. So 3 into -1 and whole charge will be 0 because it's a neutral salt. Okay, so equal to 0. So X value will be how much? Plus 3, no? Correct? Understood? Yeah, fourth one. Okay, fourth one. See, charge is understood now. So now name you see. Okay, how to write the name? Since this En is a didentate ligand, which already has di naming in that. Okay, prefix is already used. Di prefix is already used. Then you can't make use of, okay, another, that same prefix you can't use. So I told you in the fourth rule, you should make use of a new term, okay, that is this one. If it is 3, it is tris. If it is 2, it is bis. Okay, this should be used. Now here it is 3, no? So we are making use of a new prefix, that is tris here. So tris, so then you write the name of this ligand. Okay, the whole name you have to write. Full name should be written. Ethane 1,2 diamine inside the bracket because it's organic. And then come to the metal. So we are done with the name of the ligand. So we are coming to the metal. Metal is cobalt. So cobalt. Oxidation state, you can calculate. Just now I told you. Okay, this is the oxidation state. So you will get plus 3. Okay, you can just see here. Chloride is there. 3 chlorides are there because the neutral ligand don't carry any charge. It's 0. So this chloride will be -3 is equal to 0. You will get plus 3. Okay, and then come to the naming of the counter ion, that is Cl, chloride. Yeah.